ball was out of play. That check lasted 30 seconds, 33 seconds. Then there was that check to Joe Linton had fouled Gabriel. I said Saliba, it's Gabriel, to reach the ball first. That one lasted 50 seconds. And the Madley deemed there was not sufficient contact to award a foul. And then the final question, was Gordon offside when Joe Linton played the ball? 90 seconds for that decision to be made. There was no conclusive evidence of offside. You couldn't find an available camera angle for the VAR to draw the line, right? Mm-hmm. So that's all of the facts. So the thing that screams out to me straight away is, how are we in this place when we talk about technology being needed? Why do the officials not have the available cameras to be able to make definitive conclusions on all three?
The title, it's called Video Assistant Referee, and what we're seeing is they don't have enough video to assist the referee. So it just makes no sense. Like I say, in this day and age, when there's 30 cameras or more on that game, why haven't we got some sort of aerial shot? If not, do we go back to more linesmen running,
I think there are a couple of very basic things to make clear with this, and I'm sure you got a few on this, Melissa, but I think very basically this isn't a sweeping statement to lambast all referees and officials. There are lots of them that do a good job, and sometimes when we have these conversations we say all referees are inept, all referees are incompetent, and that's not the case. And we've said this before, there are a lot of good people within the PGML who are working hard to try and get us the best experience on any footballing occasion. But on this occasion, and Jonathan Northcroft will get to his piece in a second, he talks about the fact that it's another game that Stuart Atwell's presided over, which has descended into chaos. The other thing to make clear is that we are talking about Newcastle against Arsenal, but this is a football problem. At some stage this season, most if not all of the clubs in the Premier League are going to get affected by this kind of decision. And this is a kind of thing that should not be coming up time and again. So, and with that, I would say there is not a football team in the land, whether they're in the Premier League, the Championship, League 1 or League 2, who would have been happy with that goal being awarded against them. So whatever the minutiae of what did or didn't stand, and people making cases for why Arsenal fans shouldn't be angry, everyone should be in the camp that with all of the discrepancies and potential issues with that goal yesterday, it should not have stood. If I may, one last thing. It's very likely that Mikel Arteta will be charged by the FA on the basis of what he said yesterday. I actually think he was quite clever, because he said, I'm embarrassed as a representative of the Premier League. That's quite clever. He wasn't saying, hitting it. It wasn't a scattergun attack, if you like, on the official.
No, I think he was very careful not to.
He was very careful. But we work, Melissa, Vicky, in an industry, a media industry, which is changing all the time. Football is not changing with the idea that how is it that everybody can have an opinion on what we saw yesterday, but the man whose job it is to preside over victory and to get his team the best possible result cannot be honest about what he saw. So we blithely say, the FA have charged him, we'll see the yellow ticket, the FA have charged Mikel Arteta with what he said. Why? Why are you going to sanction a grown man for telling the truth about what he saw? If he is punished for what he said, then we really are in a bad, archaic place. And this sport really does need to have a big look at itself. And we've got to have a conversation about that. Why is it that a grown man cannot say, I managed this football team, and that goal was awarded against my football team, and I cannot see how it was given? Why can a grown man not say that?
Melissa, what do you think? I mean, is it the technology? Is it the operators? What's gone wrong yesterday?
I think there's a whole series of issues. Firstly, we can't be in a position to not have definitive camera angles to judge on offside, to judge if a ball's gone out of play. It is absolutely ridiculous. The margins are so fine. We can't be in a position where we are awarding goals that we're not sure should have been awarded, or disallowing goals that we're not sure should have been disallowed. There should be definitive angles. There's enough money.
You told me about the
Yes,
rugby.
there should be enough money in the game for that. Then there's a problem over communication. So IFAB have ruled that if we had to listen into the conversations, it would be chaotic. At the moment, it's already chaotic. And the little bits and pieces of audio that we have heard, shows us a few things. One, communication is actually not very good between all the officials. Two, the process is severely lacking. And because there is mistrust in the process and we cannot hear the communication and see whether it's improved at all, those are issues. When you look at rugby and you see how well, if anybody's just watched the Rugby World Cup, you see how well detailed decisions are broken down in the video analysis, and then when you're hearing all the communication from the officials to each other and then from the referee to the players, you think, wow, that is an unbelievable...
Is it chaotic? Then I don't understand why we've got a room that's you know, but as I've labelled it chaotic. Why is it chaotic? It should be. This is a game that's worth millions, and that potentially, as Mikel Arteta was pointing out yesterday, it's the fine margins. That's 3 points that could potentially losing the title.
And the big picture of this, and I was at Mikel Arteta's press conference on Friday.
We want improvement across the board in terms of how officials prepare for matches. And how they're allowed to recover from matches. We want better training for officials. And the game clubs, all the managers should have taken the position of, we want to hear the communication. We want to know all about the process. We want improvement. We want better standards of refereeing. We know that they're humans, mistakes will happen. We know that they're not purposely trying to arrive at the wrong conclusions. But we want this process to be as transparent as possible, and we want there to be greater responsibility, greater respect. And people chose the tribal route. A lot of managers, Mikel Arteta included, came out and instead of saying, yes, we would like all those things, said, we know that referees are human, they'll make mistakes, we have to understand that, we have to accept that that's part of the game. And then you contrast that with his reaction yesterday. And the problem is now, people are going back and retweeting what he said 5 weeks ago. It was, I think that all clubs should be thinking about the greater good going forward, and it will be beneficial to the officials themselves if we have this greater transparency, and it will force them into better processes if we can all see into it.
Yeah, I'm guessing the papers are all across this. I just want to mention